Hello guys, welcome to this video. Today we are going to look at a case law whereby the case law depicts error of law. The case that we are going to look at is the case of Shah versus Barnet LBC that took place in 1983. So in this case we had 5 students in the divisional court, whereby the divisional court committed an error of law in making a decision in favor of one of the 5 immigrants, that is Shah, and dismissing all the other applicants. Divisional court acted contrary to the stipulations of Education Act of 1962. They made an error of law with regards to the meaning of the term ordinary resident. Now let us look at the nut and bolts of the case. So in this case, all 5 students involved in the case are immigrants without the right to live in the United Kingdom. Shah, that is one of those 5, and Shah and Jitendra Shah, those are 2 out of those 5 cases were brought before the divisional court, and the court of appeal upheld the divisional court decision in favor of Nilish but dismissed the appeal of the other 4 applicants. The Education Act of 1962 imposed a duty on local education authorities to bestow awards on residents with the necessary qualifications subject to regulations. Regulations required 3 years of ordinary residence in the United Kingdom as a condition for eligibility for mandatory award. Parliament introduced the European Economic Community Extension in 1979 and passed immigration control legislation in 1968 and 1971. The courts considered the concept of ordinary residence in the context of eligibility for awards and immigration status. So the matters involved in this case are: 1. Whether the concept of ordinary residence as applied in the Education Act of 1962 is consistent with the common meaning of the term. Secondly, we have whether immigration status should determine eligibility for mandatory awards under the Education Act. And 3, whether local education authorities misdirected themselves in law regarding the discretionary power to grant awards. So this is what was held. The court found that ordinary residence requires a voluntarily adopted residence with a settled purpose, and immigration status influences eligibility for mandatory awards. The court held that the local education authorities misdirected themselves in law and granted the appeal of Shah while dismissing the appeal of the other 4 applicants. The court ordered the local education authority to pay the costs incurred by Shah and remitted the case back to the Queen's Bench Division for further consideration. So the rationale for the court's decision is this: the court emphasized that ordinary residence is a settled purpose voluntarily adopted, and immigration status plays a role in determining eligibility for awards. The court found that the local education authorities erred in their interpretation of law and based their decision on immigration status rather than the concept of ordinary residence. The court highlighted the importance of interpreting statutes based on their natural and ordinary meaning, emphasizing the significance of ordinary residence in the context of immigration legislation. So finally, the court set aside the Court of Appeal's decision on costs, granted the appeal of Shah, directed the local education authority to reconsider the application for a major award, and ordered costs to be paid in accordance with the Legal Aid Act of 1978. So this is a very good case on error of law and how error of law can make decisions be invalidated when found that they were made under error of law. Thank you for watching this video.